Okay, just picking up where we left off, what is the 3D shape formed by rotating a 2D solid, rotating a circle? That's going to create a sphere. And you can also calculate the volume of the sphere just based on looking at the 2D shape of the circle. So think about what the radius of the circle is. It's going to be 20. And remember, the formula for volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. So 4/3 pi r, we just said, was 20 cubed. And you can either write that as an exact answer or you can write the approximate answer, whichever one you prefer. You just might have to be able to differentiate the two on a multiple choice part of a test. So that's going to give me 33,510.32. All right, for this next one, when you rotate a circle across the y-axis, that's going to create that circular base that's going to form a cone. So this is a cone. The volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. Okay, the radius is going to be formed by the base of this triangle, which is 2, and the height is also 2. So 1/3 pi 2 squared times 2. That's going to give me 1/3 pi 8 pi over 3. Or the approximate answer, which would give me 8.38. And I always round to 2 decimal places. That's kind of the suggestion that I'm going to go for. All right, this last one, if I rotate that rectangle across the y-axis, it's going to create a cylinder. And we have the height of the rectangle, which is going to be 16. This little piece here is going to form the radius, so that's going to be 6. So the volume would be pi r squared h, pi times 6 squared times 16. And just plugging that into your calculator is going to give me 576 pi. Or your approximate answer of 1,809.56. And just remember to include units. On this case, they didn't give you any units, but make sure that you do include those if there are units given. All right, so for this next part, we have density. Density is how closely packed something is in together. You really just need to know the formula for these two. So density is mass over volume. Population density is the population over the area. And that's going to tell you how many people are in like a square foot or how many people are in a square mile. So a city has a population of 6,688 people. The area of the city is approximately 7.267 square miles. So population density is population over area, which our population is 6,688 over the area, 7.267. That's going to tell you how many people live in 1 square mile. So something interesting to consider here would be how much different would a population density range from a city versus a rural area. So 902 people. Now this one does have a decimal, so it says 0.32, but we never actually accommodate the decimal for people. So you always just round down to the nearest whole number. So that's going to be 902 people. All right. I can also do something similar, for example, 2, just comparing 2 different ones. So maybe check your answers for that one on the guided key provided. But for example 3, I have 2 boxes. I gave you a mass and a volume for both of them. And it wants you to compare the density between which one has a bigger density. So for block 1, that's mass over volume, so 79.4 over 29.8. And that's going to give me 2.66. And then think about what those units would be. So mass is measured in grams. Volume was measured in cubic centimeters. So grams per cubic centimeters. And then for block 2 is going to give you mass 25.4, volume of 29.8. So 25.4 divided by 29.8. It's going to give me 0.85 grams per cubic centimeters. So which one has a higher density? And that's going to be block 1. So go ahead and try example 4 as well. Just check your work on the key. Sometimes you may have to calculate the volume first before you can actually use the density formula. All right.